Alrighty, hello, Helen. How are you today?
Hello, hello. Very good. Thank you so much. First, thank you. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Very happy to be here with you and this interview.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure as well to interview you. And I say that, Helen, because you have an incredible resume here. So I'm excited for you to touch base on that with me. So if you don't mind, let's go ahead and just kickstart our interview. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your professional experience.
Well, thank you again. I'm very excited when I heard about the position because if you see with my experience, I have a client service from client buyers, from client sellers, from medical field. I have directly customer service, with different companies. So I have a little bit of everything in that aspect of customer service. Most of my experience has been remotely, which is I think is a good thing because I work not with a lot of supervision, and I do get everything done. And again, I have from I started in, well, my recent experience, a real estate agent in Puerto Rico, and it's working directly with different type of clients. And I manage from the viewings, the showings, the calendars, the contracts. So, working together with legal as well. And so I think that gives me a lot of, experience working with people. Um, and
Yeah.
what?
And
Mhm.
yeah, and thank you for sharing that information with me. So, as you mentioned, right, your most recent role was that real estate agent over in Puerto Rico. I'm looking at your resume here, and to kind of tie into it, you have extensive experience in customer service, right, in person, over the phone, email, scheduling calendar meetings, etc. As you mentioned, I'm
Correct.
looking at a position here. It says, excuse me, office manager slash executive assistant. This was for Soulfolk. I believe that's the name. You were there for about 7 years in New York. Tell me a little bit about that role.
Yeah, a solid position in New York, Suffolk Thoracic Associates. It was a long surgeon. Of course, we kind of, do a little introduction of what I did there, but I basically manage 3 offices for him. And I would manage the surgeries at the hospital. I would manage from coordinating the surgeries to get done, then the follow-up visits with the doctors. I handled the front and the back, because the front you greet the patients, of course, but then also the back, how it runs. So that was, one of my main positions. And that one was actually hybrid. There was days at the office, together with the doctor, hand in hand with the doctor, and also, from the office, from managing, from scheduling, the appointments, scheduling the surgeries. And I did it for 7 years.
Very nice, very nice. So that kind of tells me a little bit, you were managing 3 offices there. Now, tell me more about the executive assistant side. Was that, you being the executive assistant to the doctor, or tell me about that?
Okay, so at that time there were 2 doctors that I worked directly with them at the offices, and I will manage their surgery schedules, the operating room schedules. So it was, not so only the office, but their schedule at the hospitals. Every detail, from the appointments, from the insurance, calling the insurance to get the eligibilities for the patients. And mainly that's what I did there.
Amazing. And then was there any travel arrangements or any meetings that you were involved in to where you were taking notes?
Yes, all the meetings I did schedule for them. I didn't do travel with them, but I did all the meetings for them, definitely. Yes, at the hospital,
Awesome.
conferences, I took care of all that for them.
Okay, great stuff with that. Now, as far as, because I know we kind of spoke off camera here, but you were working in remote positions prior to this, and then that position as the office manager slash executive assistant, that was a hybrid role. We know that the position you're applying to is going to be fully in office. So again, I just want you to kind of repeat it for the camera here, but tell me your comfort level and as to why you're seeking a fully in-person position at this point.
I am excited about the fully in person, because I've done remotely for so long, that you do like to interact with other people and in person. I think it's nice and it's warm to do that too. I'm very flexible with my schedule, so I'm fine with going into the office, and I'm actually looking forward to it because I was for so long hybrid or remote that I'm looking into that as well.
Absolutely. That sounds great. Just wanted to be sure that, we kind of have that background as to why you're looking for an in-person position and how that'll work out for you. So thank you for sharing that with me. I know that you mentioned that at the office manager role slash exec position, you had two doctors who you were supporting. So how were you able to really just structure your day-to-day, manage your priorities with such a busy executive and demanding tasks?
I am very organized, I have to say. So, I use calendars, I do a lot of Excel too. So I kind of, have my list of priorities of what I have to do for the day. And it was for two different doctors. So that was my way to, having a reminder, trackers, Google, that I use a lot for meetings and getting organized. So in order to make sure that everything gets done and on time. And I have to say, in this type of environment, either medical or with customer service, every day is different. So you just have to come prepare, for that day. I do like to actually do it in advance the day before of what you think you're going to do, but then it might change the next day, and you have to make sure you cover, what is most urgent, and and kind of go with the day. And that's kind of how you get to, everything done.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that with me. Now, I know that you applied to this executive assistant role. You worked in a role such as this before, but what was it about this particular role that really piqued your interest?
On this one specifically,
Yes.
the one that I'm playing, it's kind of, it follows, the working with directly with people.
Mhm.
Even though it's a little different, it's insurance is a little different, but in the same way, it's something a little different for me to learn to do,
That's
and
right.
working with people in person. So that's one of my main reasons.
Amazing. And as far as systems that you've used, can you tell me a little bit about the systems you've used? Now, I know we can't remember them all, right? But, it can even be your Google-based, Microsoft-based, CRM systems that you can recall.
So the ones that you use the most is Word, Excel, Google Meets. I do Zoom. I had a system called Command that is more to client base. You put them in the system. For the executive position, it was Apple and Mac computer. So I have experience on both. I think those are the main ones. EHR, which is, it's medical records system, for you to put patients in appointments. And I think right now the main ones are really Google Meet, Zoom, and calendars.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for sharing that with me as well. Now we know it's competitive out here in the job seeking industry, but what is it about you as a candidate that allows you to stand out to others?
Um, I would say my strong organization, because I am very organized. That will be one of the main ones. I'm bilingual. I'm very professional. I have to say that I'm calm. If anything arises, I will be able to handle it. In a good way. I do work under pressure. All these positions are fast-paced positions. So, and I think those are the main skills that you should have, and also handling very confidential documents and information.
Absolutely, completely agree. I think handling confidential information is key, especially in an industry such as this or roles such as this.
Correct.
So that's great. Now, I know the holidays are coming up here, Helen, but do you have any PT or any time off or vacation time that you have scheduled at all, or any conflicts in scheduling?
As I said, I am very flexible with my schedule, with hours. I am. The only thing that I can tell you that I have right now is, if you give me just 1 second so I can pull the calendar.
No worries.
And it's the only really engagement that I have, and it's in November. Other
Okay.
than that, I am open. Um, the 24, 25, and 26th of November are the only days that I would say that I already have an engagement.
No worries.
already, but other than that, I am good to go.
Okay, that sounds perfect. And I'm glad that we got that
Thank you
information
so much
here
for
right off
asking.
the bat. Yeah, absolutely. Just want to make sure there's no, conflicts in scheduling if it can get you out to, a role. So that sounds great to me. Now, as far as starting a new position, how soon can you start?
Other than those days, I can really start any day. You can tell me tomorrow and I'll be ready. So
That sounds great.
yeah, yeah. So as I said, I'm very flexible with my time, and especially when I work. I'm very committed. So other than that, I really can start at, anytime. And just those 3 days, I'm good to go.
Amazing. Well, thank you for that information, Helen, and thank you for having such a great interview with me this morning. I want to go ahead and just conclude our interview here, but if you don't mind, stay on the line with me really quickly. I want to chat with you.
Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.